Welcome friends, how are you all? My name is Padma Ali and I help stressed overachievers find freedom and clarity so they can take aligned actions and create deeper impact using the power of the new you blueprint. So welcome everyone. Today's topic is about life will not return to normal when the social distancing thing is over. Yes, it sounds pretty bleak and I'll go into why. And I'm also going to share with you 3 tips on how you can get ahead. So stay with me. So if you are one of those people who is just waiting for things to return back to normal, I hate to burst the bubble for you, but it's not happening. It's not happening anytime soon. And even when it goes back to so-called normal, it's not going to look like how it looked prior to all of these things unfolding. So a new normal will be set, but the old normal is not coming back. Okay, so I'm speaking to all of you who are waiting, who are in that waiting land, right? If you have listened to any of my videos in the past, you know I give you tons of very valuable information. So stay tuned and I'm going to share with you 3 very good tips on how to get ahead. So please stay till the end and you'll get some really valuable information. So let's start with why the old normal is gone. First of all, there's a lot of unknown, right? We do not know the course of this virus. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if it'll have a dip during the summertime, or if a new strain is going to be born, or if it's going to come back with a vengeance in the winter time, or it's going to come back when they start relaxing some of these social distancing norms. We don't know. That's the bottom line. There's the health aspect, and then there's the economic aspect. A lot of people don't have jobs right now, right? So there's a lot happening on so many different fronts, and people are scared of spending money. People are just there's just a lot going on, right? So the bottom line is, if you're just waiting for that one day when the social distancing is going to be over so you can go back to your, going back to restaurants and eating and partying and doing all the things that you are doing, and if you're just in the waiting pattern right now, watching Netflix or just whiling away your time waiting for this to be over, then I'm actually going to ask you to sign off right now, because this is not for you. What I'm going to share with you is not for you, and just go back to what you were doing. This is for the kind of person who's ready to use anything that comes your way as an opportunity to grow, as an opportunity to get ahead and to take life by its horns, rather than be the person who's just waiting and getting frustrated with life, right? So if that's you who wants to get ahead, then stay on, because these 3 tips are really going to be beneficial for you. So are you ready for it? So the first one, your thoughts matter. What you think is very vital at this time. Isn't it didn't Buddha say that we are shaped by our thoughts, and what we think we become? I'm 100% sure that he's the one who said that, but you can go look it up. But he said that our thoughts shape our life. And you may or may not have realized how extraordinarily powerful your mind is. I've studied the brain for over 20 years. I have seen people do amazing things just because they set their mind to it. I worked with clients who have been able to accomplish so much more than what we think is possible, right? But guys, I get it. I get what's happening and how easy it is to get sucked in. I used to be one of those people. It's so easy to get sucked in. But here's the thing, right? We have a choice. We have a choice on what we think and how we think about things and what we do with that. So our thoughts really matter. Everything starts with our thoughts. So be a hawk. That's tip number 1 for you. Be a hawk. When I was researching doing this live, I came across Harriet Tubman. I don't know if you've known her from the 1930s or even earlier on. She was one of the pioneer Black women who helped with slavery. She helped many slaves escape. So here's the amazing piece, right? The odds against her were so far to none. And Am I saying that correctly? Basically, she had no chances of winning. She was a woman, she was a black woman, she was a slave herself, and she had a bounty over her head. And yet, she helped so many slaves escape. And there are so many people like that who have existed in history who have achieved the unachievable. Why? Because they set their mind to it. They changed how they thought. They didn't give in to circumstances. So, which is why I said right up front, if you're one of those people who's sitting there and watching Netflix waiting for this to be over, this is not for you, because we can't. If you cannot wrap your mind around these circumstances, you're going to be stuck. So tip number 1, choose your time wisely, choose your thoughts wisely, get help. Get a coach, read self-help books, do the things you can do to get ahead. Are you ready for tip number 2? Point number 2. Have you ever wondered what stress, fear, overwhelm does to your body and to your system? You know, stress is one of the easiest way for our health to go downwards. You know, I'm not going to go too much into this, but I'm going to ask you one question. Where will you be 6 months from now? Where will you be a year from now if you let these feelings take over, if you let stress take over, if you let fear take over, if you let any of those things take over? Because right now, lots of people are in fear. Lots of people are stressed out. And I'm not saying it's not, of course, you know, like even if you're just looking at the circumstances, of course. But what that does, it brings you down. You know, have you ever seen this, right? When we are stressed out, we make poor choices of eating, of exercise, and then we start to downward spiral. The same thing happens when we shift our mind. We do things differently. It starts to shift us on a positive upward direction. So point number 2 is about energetic imprints. I love this word because this is exactly what happens when we are stressed. It leaves an energetic imprint. When we are in fear, it leaves an energetic imprint. Your thoughts leave an energetic imprint. This is one of the second core pillars I work with my clients, because that is vital. When you shift out of these when you can clear the energetic imprints, it can create amazing transformation. Hi, Maria. So what I'm going to invite you, you know, I do a lot of in-depth work on clearing this energetic imprints, which I can't go into right now here. But what I'm going to invite you to do is to set an intention, sit in meditation, set an intention for clearing the energetic imprints that are no longer serving you. Because energetic imprints are literally like roots. When the roots are in place, it stops, it continues to let the branches grow. Okay, so this is I've studied energy medicine for over 10 plus years. But more than that, when I work with my clients, I literally become like a channel for them and let information come through for them and help with their healing process. So obviously I can't do that right now, but I really want I want you to let this sink in. Okay, your thoughts create an energetic imprint. And if you don't clear those energetic imprints, it continues to make you spiral downwards. That's point number 2. Set an intention for clearing the energetic imprints that are no longer serving you. Point number 3, tip number 3, this is in some essence the most important part of it all, because everything comes down to this one thing. You ready for it? So you saw, right? Like the thoughts, the energy, and then if you do not take actions to get to where you want to go, you're going to remain stuck. It's not just about, I say this a lot and people laugh when I say this. I say you can't sit and ohm all day. Ohming all day will not get you to where you want to go. But what will is taking aligned actions. And you have to take aligned actions based on where you want to go and who you want to be. So if you are taking actions from worry and stress and fear, not going to work. But if you take actions from a place of clarity and trust and knowing that this is going to work out for you, guess what will happen? Everything will start to shift. So that's the number 1. That's tip number 3, taking aligned actions, trusting your inner wisdom, trusting the wisdom of tuning into a higher higher, the universe, or whatever you want to call it, God, whatever you want to call it, right? Trusting that aligned space between your wisdom and the wisdom of the universe. So, as a recap, again, what are those 3 tips, right? Watch your thoughts. Your thoughts can be your best friend or your enemy. Second tip, change your energy. If you do not change your energy, it is going to bring you down. Number 3, take aligned actions. Aligned actions is the key. It's not just taking actions, it's aligned actions. All right. So these 3 things, when you put it in place, no matter what social distancing is happening, no matter what is going on around you, you're not going to get caught up in those circumstances. Remember Harriet Tubman that I said earlier on. I love her story. Everything was stacked up against her, and yet she did it, right? How did she do that? How did she do that? Read up her story. It's very, very, very inspiring. And there are many such people around us who have done things who you would not even imagine could do things, right? So look up those people, get inspired, do these things, put them into action and see what happens. See how life changes for you. So before I sign off, I have very, very limited time for calls these days. So if you're curious to see if we are a good fit for each other, if wherever you're stuck, I want to help you get unstuck. I offer a one-time complimentary call, and we can figure out what's happening for you and see how best to help you. And lastly, join my free Facebook group, especially because I offer tons of value there that are exclusive for that group. It's a free group. I've posted it in the comments, in the caption. So join the group. You get a lot of value there. And again, feel free to get on a complimentary call with me, a 20-minute complimentary call, and to see where you're unstuck and see how I can help you get unstuck. All right? Thank you so much, my friends. Yes, Maria, it's Harriet. It's Tubman. So the first name is correct. It's Tubman. Thank you so much, my friends. Take good care. I will talk to you soon. Bye.